Thank you very much, Senator Lon, Senator Gianaris, all my colleagues for your leadership on this. And Professor, you talked a little bit about the chaos that ensued in the last redistricting when there was sort of an 11th hour change. You know, I think that one ongoing issue this year or in this round is going to be sort of at what point does the question get called as to how the districts should get drawn? Could you just take us through some of the different timeframes and then how realistic it would be to have an alternative plan at each of those? On the one hand, you know, the later you get in the process, you know, sometimes, I think especially in Albany, you know, delay or inertia answers the question for you, which we wouldn't want to have happen. On the other hand, in a day and age of computers and, you know, much greater ability to crunch a lot of these numbers to get a court to approve these numbers more quickly. Just wanted to understand really what are our deadlines here if we are talking about a different process. At what point is it simply too late, sort of whether the lines get approved or not by the legislature or the governor?
Well, I think, you know, assuming that they stay on the same political calendar, today is the first day that petitions go out for the off year. So I hear that there's some notion of moving primaries into June, which I found, so if that were the case, then petitions would be in March. You'd really have to have plans done by, you know, by Christmas, kind of, you know, because it's, you know, the Justice Department takes 60 days. So if we do in fact switch to a different political calendar for that,
well, let's assume this political calendar and work backwards from a June 6th beginning of petitioning. Yeah, so I would say, you know, it was basically the litigation. I think the plan came out in April 22nd, you know, as I recall. It was like, I know on my computer when we got the new Senate plan, it had an April date of 2002. But that doesn't mean they didn't have the plan in the drawer. So, you know, because I don't think the software has actually changed all that much since last time. I do think one of the things that has changed, and we'll see if this is going to happen in New York, is that there's now software, open source software available to people, you know, who want to try their own hand at plans, and this may in fact help at the hearing stage, because people will come in with plans that are, you know, closer to plans that could be adopted. But I think, you know, they could spring a plan on you at the last minute if that's the question. Well, let me ask this: if such a plan were, let's say that there were a plan that were rejected by the governor or by the legislature next April, would it be too late to draw and certify an alternative plan? Would that plan be the inevitable baseline for any final plan? Is it too late at that point? Do we need to have an alternative process in place before next April for it to be realistic?
Well, also, if you think that you might end up in court, which is, I think, always a safe guess, you should probably introduce the, you know, what would be the alternative plan publicly, you know, during the period. I'm involved now with the challenge in Nassau County, where I drew a plan for Nassau County because the Republicans, I don't know if you, they redrew Nassau County as 44% or something was moved, and they did all sorts of crazy redraw. We got together, got an alternative plan, which was submitted. Actually, the papers were filed yesterday by Fred Brewington and Randy McLaughlin, trying to challenge that plan. So you can do that at the last minute. There's quite a tight compression, but we also have produced, that plan had been introduced in public hearings. So see, then they do it knowingly. See, they don't have the excuse that they did it, you know, they just, you know, that's all you could do, see. You know, so I think it's important to have alternative plans as you go through the process. I really, truly do.
Thank you.